Inside the time tunnel, Sonic, Rainbow, Applejack, and Pinky saw the portal opening up in front of them, all of them getting ready as the time meter came through it. The dog's back for more or some more, huh? Applejack grunted, dumping her front hose together. Pinky's back! Can we have more fellas in now? Pinky asked, sinking with mid-air excitement. Sonic looked at her. Hold on, Pinky. Don't go jumping into this right away. He looked at Rainbow. You want to take this one, Dash? Seeing game mechanics being used like this in a fic are getting annoying. This is supposed to be the final battle. This should be better written than this. But right now, all I can think of right now is how high is my score doing? Rainbow grinned back down. Duh, of course I do. Everyone's been waiting for this moment. She turned and flew towards the time meter, the fire in her mane and tail trailing behind her as she went. Orbot saw her coming and said, Rainbow Dash is coming our way, boss. Might I suggest some other strategic retreat? Cubot, his head having been knocked against the back of Eggmobile at some point, spoke. We can't keep fighting. She's going to take the strain. Eggman yelled, Shut up, both of you. Cleared the Rainbow Dash to the screen. You hard ponies are more trouble than you're worth, but I won't go down easily. Rainbow smirked. Really? Because I think it'll be pretty easy for me. Let's see you can handle all the colors of harmony. Eggman pressed the button on the Eggman mobile's console. I'm just getting started. Take this! In response to his command, the time ear fired homing shots at Dash, more than it had at any point before. No, Soren! Ksh! No, Gilda! Ksh! But Rainbow didn't listen to her. Instead, she wound up lifting her left foreleg like it was winding up a punch, and with a smirk, shot straight towards the time mirror. As he approached the first homing shot, the shot coming up from below her, she swung her left hoof at it, the hoof punch knocking the Sonic off course. Not wasting a second, Pegasus spun around, swung her right hoof into the homing shot above her. The rest of the shots closed in on her as she flew, but she kept spinning, swinging her hooves, doing a barrel roll as she deflected the shots and closed the gap between the time mirror. After stopping the last shot, Rainbow did one more roll and came to a stop, just a short distance in front of the time mirror, flapping her wings to remain in place. She grinned. Did you actually think you could hit me with a move you've been spamming this whole time? Get real, egghead. Eggman growled as he pressed another button. How's this then? Three green Aerosaurs appeared in front of the time mirror shortly after he pressed the button, growing bigger and beginning to glow brighter as they grew. Here, Smoke. Aren't you skipping over to Eggman? Whatever. Let's see you can hit me in the middle of a Sonic Ray Boom! She flew up as the orbs fired their beams as she flew straight ahead, Sonic, Pinky, and Applejack moving out of the way as they flew forward to join Dash. The Pegasus friend reached the top of the tunnel as the orbs disappeared and pulled a U-turn, flying straight back down, her hooves pointing in front of her. As she flew down, the familiar, nearly invisible aura began to form around her hooves, though it was forming much faster than ever before, bar possibly Camelot Wedding. In less than a second, her Sonic Rain Boom went off, Rainbow flying down past the time mirror as green orbs began to form again, weaving around the time tunnel while leaving a flaming rainbow in her wake as it fired beams. She kept flying around, dodging shots from the time mirror, practically filling it part of the tube as she was flying around in a rainbow while she flew. Looking at the rainbow trails the Pegasus was leaving behind, Orbit commented, I can't even see her anymore. How are you going to fight her when you can't see her, boss? Cubot cried, She's got a lot of power, you know. Eggman yelled, I told you to just shut up. I don't need your running commentary. That's what I've been saying whole fic, but nobody's listening to me. Turning his attention back to Rainbow Dash, he grunted, If you think you could outsmart me this way, you've got another thing coming, Rainbow Dash. I'll wipe you and your fiery little Spectrum out in one swoop. He pushed the button on his console while saying, Burn. Suddenly, a large amount of pink air began to fill up in front of the time mirror. Careful, too much pink air is dangerous. A large spear beginning to form. Sonic, Applejack, and Pinky noticed it, but Rainbow didn't, considering she was still flying around the confused Eggman. Hey, Rainbow, heads up! Sonic yelled. While still flying, Rainbow called, What is it, Sonic? Kinda busy getting ready to finish off some walrus chops over here, so... She didn't get a chance to finish her sentence, since the air the time mirror had been building up was condensed into a large beam that fired straight ahead, dissipating all the rainbows that Rainbow had been leaving and sending Pegasus flying backwards. Sonic and Applejack flew up and got behind Rainbow. Pinky randomly appearing behind her as she caught the Pegasus and managed to stop her mid-flight. Sonic and Applejack grunted as they were pushed backwards by helping her stop. The former saying when they came to a complete stop, "Last look, can you try that again?" Rainbow glared at Time Eater's direction, noticing all the remaining embers left behind by her destroyed rainbows. "That's it! You do not interrupt me in a flying session!" she growled, bouncing out towards the Time Eater once she was done speaking. Applejack rolling her eyes at Rainbow's usual brassness. Eggman grinned as he saw Rainbow coming. "Ho ho! You want some more, do you? It's no use. Give up!" He pressed the button on his console again. The Time Eater once again building a pink guarantee, which is unbelievably dangerous, in front of it. Once he was about halfway to the Time Eater, Dash came to a stop and eyed the rainbow embers again. Looking down her right hoof, she held it up, trying to channel the chaos energy her body into it, directed towards those flames. After a moment, the embers responded and began to float towards her hoof, being reabsorbed into it, causing her hoof to glow of all the colors of the rainbow, while her necklace began to glow red. Once she was ready, Rainbow thrust her hoof in the direction of the Time Eater, and sent at least its beam at her again. A large rainbow-colored beam being shot from her hoof when her leg pointed straight to collide with the Time Eater's beam. Both beams pushed against each other for several seconds, each managing to move a short distance before being pushed back a few times, before both beams canceled each other out. A bright pink and rainbow-colored flash filled the tunnel. "What?" Eggman exclaimed, trying to avert his eyes. Not the least bit bothered by the flash, Rainbow shot forward, aiming for the Time Eater's core. As he neared it, she brought her hind legs up in front of her, and when she was about right in front of it, began kicking at blinding speed. After a few seconds of this, she started to float backwards, suddenly started both her hooves at the core, causing more cracks to appear, pushing the Time Eater backwards. "No, Skulu! No Spitfire!" Ksh, ksh. Rainbow grinned as she looked at the Time Eater, still floating backwards. "Ha ha! Eat Rice's point dust, egghead!" Eggman managed to regain control of the Time Eater a second later, growled, "Enjoy the feeling while it lasts, Rainbow Dash. You won't have much to smile about soon." Unsurprisingly, he did open up the black portal behind the Time Eater and had to float into it, the creature disappearing once it was through, and the portal closing afterwards. Rainbow turned to look at the direction of Twilight's grip and called, "Twilight, be careful!" The three mares outside the time tunnel immediately went on the defensive at that, looking around for Discord. They had seen and heard how angry Eggman is. Would Discord be as angry as well? They didn't know, but they were going to let the Draconicus take them by surprise, angry or not. All of a sudden, Discord called, "You, ladies." Twilight, Rarity, and Fluttershy tensed up at that. They could hear him, but he hadn't appeared yet. Suddenly, one of the Draconicus chocolate milk balls appeared right behind the trio. Almost as soon as it appeared, it exploded, pushing all of them forward and splattering them with drops of chocolate. After a few seconds, Twilight and Fluttershy managed to right themselves and spread their wings, slowing down and stopping, Wings getting in Rarity's way and stopping her as well. Almost immediately afterwards, Discord appeared to make some distance away from the mares. He grinned at them. "How does you girls like that nice warm milk, huh?" While holding her mane between her hooves and working the chocolate milk out of it, Rarity scowled. "We didn't. We preferred to be able to drink our milk rather than blowing it up on us. And this seed of brown should only be used for accents." Discord smiled. "Should it now? Well, I'll be sure to keep that in mind then, Rarity, and have more chocolate milk than ever before when I'm finished with you. It'll be a perfect accent for everything." Rarity glared at him, furious in her praise. "Ooh, why, you deplorable!" she exclaimed as she glanced in his direction. Fluttershy grabbed her from the side, rubbing her forelegs around Rarity's midsection, while the fashionista kept pushing her hooves towards Discord, her pulsing with magic. "Oh, Rarity, whatever." Twilight's back at Discord when the Conquest spoke. "Well, Twilight, looks like it's all up to you again. Your friends are fighting with each other, and you're facing me all alone with power you don't know how to control." He smirked. "Does that frighten you? You're shaking." Lucille Alicorn glared at him, her mane and tail waving their own accord. "Sorry, just from excitement." Discord raised an eyebrow at that. Twilight explained, "You think the rest of us just sat back and did nothing this whole time, Discord? Like you said, the Chaos Emeralds are giving us power we're not used to. This whole time, even when we haven't been fighting, we've been getting used to what we can do now. You're going to see what I can do now, and I'm excited being able to test it all out." Discord's smirk returned, a chuckle emanating from his mouth. "So, you think you learned it all and are ready to show it off, huh? Well then, nerd, if it's a test you want, you'll get a test," he mocked. As Twilight ready herself, Sakura... "Shut up, Sakura!" You too, Shining! I'm not saying a thing. I don't care. Thank you, Shadow. You're the only logical one. Discord overheard him and growled, "A child, am I? Let me just remind you what this child likes to play with big toys." He doesn't use a draconic trace. The draconic was reared his head back and then thrust his head forward, releasing a large orange fireball from his mouth. And the three mares, Rarity now over a little fit what Discord said, stared along with Twilight and Fluttershy as he flew towards them. And suddenly, Twilight's horn lit up with her magic. Less than a second later, there was a bright magenta flash. Discord's fireball flying straight through it without hitting anything. When the flash cleared, Twilight, Rarity, and Fluttershy vanished, but they reappeared some distance away from where they had previously been. Fluttershy and Rarity looking a bit surprised, but otherwise being no worse for wear. Twilight looked back at him. "Rarity, Fluttershy, are you okay?" Blake was the first to respond. "Yes, I think so. Thank you." So I said, "Good. My magic really does feel stronger than it briefly was when the Secretary of Comet was passing over Changeling Kingdom. Even though we all have the Chaos Emerald's power, I don't want to have another magic shard and accidentally hurt you girls." Rarity reassured her, "Don't worry about that, Twilight. Fluttershy and I are going to be close by while we deal with these ruffians. And should a situation arise, I think Fluttershy and I will be safe." She took her now dry mane and full hose and struck it with one hose, saying, "My hair feels like fine silk right now, but there's something about it. It feels as though they can make it strong as the toughest armor, while tonight is the most beautiful dress." Before any of them could say anything else, Discord called, "Oh, ladies, if that's all you're going to do, then it's my turn again." Twilight turned her head back in its direction, Fluttershy and Rarity looking as well. The Crocodile raised his lion paw up and snapped his fingers. He instantly vanished and reappeared far away from where he previously had been. As the three of them watched, Discord continued to snap his fingers, disappearing and reappearing in a different spot each time. "What is Discord doing?" Fluttershy asked. "He's trying to confuse us, I think." Suddenly, Discord appeared some distance behind the mares. "Oh, I'm over here." Rarity, Fluttershy, and Twilight turned around to face him, the former two nodding Twilight's direction a moment later. The pseudo-alicorn's horn lit up as that, and a second later they all disappeared, and right appeared Discord, surrounding him. Instead of getting nervous or even surprised, Discord grinned. Perfect. I don't even distract myself." In a swimming motion, Discord whirled around, grabbing Rarity with his eagle talon and Fluttershy with his lion paw. Twilight's horn charged up, ignoring Spike as we hear a distant sound of somebody throwing Spike through a window. "Discord, let them go!" The Chronicles grinned back over his shoulder. "Oh, what are you going to do if I don't? Blast me with your magic?" Twilight finished charging her magic prepared to do just that, but she was about to release it. Discord whirled around and held Fluttershy and Rarity in front of her horn, causing her to hesitate. Discord smirked. "What's the matter, Twilight? I thought you wanted to fight for your friendship." Rarity and Fluttershy struggled in his grip, but neither one was persistent to attack him. Rarity soon yelled at Twilight, "Twilight, what's your lighting for? Get him!" Twilight looked at her and Fluttershy, both point-blank range in front of her, and stammered, "I can't do it?" "What?" "Yes, you can't do it because I've got them in front of you." "This makes no sense!" "Well, I'm going to mock you here and talk to... No, you're right. This doesn't make any sense even for me. And I'm the spirit of chaos. I mean, you've got superpowers. You're invincible. You're invincible now. You could take a hit. There's nothing really blocking you from doing this. I mean, why aren't you taking the shot? If they were normal, I would understand. But right now, you have some very high durability." "Not to mention, I have wings. I can protect us from most of the damage." "Indeed. And why aren't I using any magic?" "This makes no sense. Your grabbing us really wouldn't work." Just shoot us with the lightning, Twilight. Well, apparently that's you figuring something out. Let's move on." Twilight saw this coming, though. As soon as he heard the rumblings, he started channeling magic into a horn. When the lightning was fired, traveling fast as lightning normally would, so he performed several short-range teleportation, reappearing past the lightning as it struck nothing. So he turned magic again and fired a beam at the cloud. No, don't you do this, Vic. Don't you dare do this! Breaking into cotton fluffy pieces. Discord gasped. Twilight, that was incredibly rude. Twilight didn't answer and began charging her magic again. Discord smirked. His remaining cotton candy cloud floated in front of him, possessing it in front of Fluttershy and Rarity so Twilight couldn't see him. Go ahead and just try do it again, Twilight. Here's another reason why this whole entire you holding them don't make sense. We're floating in a 3D space! Oh shoot, I should have brought a cup. Instead of firing another beam, I'll flip you, Vic! Beams? Really? More pew pew, pew pew, magic, pew pew! No! I'm changing this right now! Twilight began to teleport around, creating multiple clones around Discord. Fluttershy and Rarity began to watch as Twilight began to use her magic to split herself up. Then, each of her magic bodies began to charge up with a different element. One of fire, one of water, one of earth, and one of air. With the four flying at once, they each began to charge up a new spell. Discord rolled his eyes at this, trying to say, you really think that this could possibly work? I can neutralize each one of these elements. Twilight just grinned. Oh, I know that. Yes. Air Twilight said. But that was if... Fire Twilight smirked. You're facing out the four basic elements of magic. Discord then began to look around as he realized he was being stuck in a conversation. But you know what? We were just distracting you with your biggest weakness. You love... Discord then looked. While horizontally, he was surrounded by the four basic elements of the Earth. Around him in a globe, he was surrounded by a twilight made of hydrogen, a twilight made of helium, a twilight made of chromium, a twilight made of gold, a twilight made of silver, a twilight made of bronze. It took Discord a few moments to realize what Twilight had charged herself into. She became not just four elements, but the entire periodic table itself. Each with a different charge of elemental magic in their hooves. Discord could only gulp before he got bombarded with a whole slew of elemental magic, releasing Fluttershy and Rarity. As Discord shook it off, Twilight landed and hit Discord with at least 3 different flame strikes before firing a huge blast of lightning into him. And that is how you do a magic fight! Magic is more than just pew 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 beams. Look, I let the show get away with that. But that's because it's the kids' show. It's limited what it can do. As far as they're concerned, they're fine with doing magic as pew 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 pew. But this is a fic, not a show. This is a fic, not a video game. If this was a video game, it should be an RPG so we could do different spells. When you have magic, use spells! Stop it with the whole bean thing! So if you are all connected by magic, Twilight, the way Dame Bardass says you are, before Twilight could react, Discord reached over and wrapped his lion's paw around her crown. Hey, what are you doing? She exclaimed. Discord didn't answer her. Instead, he continued to channel his chaotic magic to his lion's paw, his arm growing yellow as it traveled down to Twilight's crown. A second later, yellow glow slowly wrapped around the other 5 element bearers' necklaces, and in a flash, their necklaces vanished. The 5 necklaces reappeared at Discord's side with a flash, all of them floating next to him, and now, still gripping Twilight's crown in his paw, he roughly yanked it off her head, holding it up above him triumphantly. Twilight, Rarity, and Fluttershy immediately moved towards him, trying to get the elements back from him. We followed backwards away from him before he could get too close. Sorry, ladies, but the good doctor likes fine jewelry, so I'm afraid I just can't give these back. He mocked and held his eagle talon. But don't worry, I'll give you something just as good. With that, he snapped his eagle talon fingers again and disappeared from sight, along with the elements of harmony. At the time tunnel, Sonic looked confused. What did he just do? He wondered. Suddenly, he heard a loud scream and some kind of explosion behind him, and he turned to look. His eyes widened. Alsek's body was being controlled as he was a puppet. And with that, his eyes were unfocused, as he was looking at something far away. Her body shaking, and a hose on the side of her face. Pinkie Pie was trying to get her party cannon under control as it fired wildly on her own. As he took a look, he noticed they were all wearing necklaces that, aside from the necklace being part gray, looked exactly like their element of harmony. Judging from what he was seeing, though, they were not the corrupted forms of the real elements. They were Discord's creation, specifically designed to mess with their heads for them. Okay, that is low, Sonic growled to himself. Turning to look outside the time tunnel, he could see the beams of light in the distance, presumably coming from Twilight, Fluttershy, and Rarity. He guessed Discord had replaced their elements and they were short-circuiting too. This isn't good. I gotta help them. Jiggling back at Applejack, Pinkie Pie, and Rainbow Dash, he grimaced. Well, I'm not going to get to Twilight, Rarity, and Fluttershy if I'm trying to hang on to Rainbow, AT, and Pinkie while they're short-circuiting. I can't leave them here. Gee, if only you had Shadow and Knuckles and Silver and Turtles! Suddenly, Sonic noticed a green glow coming from his left hand. He held it up. It was coming from Chip's necklace. She jumped shining brightly again. What's going on? He muttered. Do you remember how, earlier, he heard Chip's voice and felt the power like Gaia backing the power of the Chaos Emeralds? Ignoring the calls coming through his radio, Sonic turned to look at Twilight's group again and muttered, Maybe. He held his left arm up, Chip's necklace glowing brighter in response. Sonic gritted his teeth as he focused. He hoped that this would work. After a few seconds, he saw three glints in the distance, which were coming from the green force fields that formed around Fluttershy, Rarity, and Twilight. Closer look revealed they had seemingly calmed down thanks to the force fields. Though it was likely Discord's fake elements of harmony were still trying to mess with them. Yes! Just as I thought! Sonic grinned. As the three mirrors began to gravitate towards the time tunnel, Sonic turned to the other three mirrors and did the same with them. Pinkie, Applejack, and Rainbow freezing, and the craziness caused by their new necklaces being brought under control as the force fields formed around them and they floated towards Sonic. Once both mirror trios were floating near Sonic, their force fields vanished, and the fake elements of harmony were unrestrained again. Before their full effects could return, however, Sonic grabbed all six mirrors in his arms and turned, flying toward a piece of debris that used to be part of a city street. Slamming it with his feet when it was vertical at the angle to him, and riding it at a more horizontal angle. He then set the mirrors down a bit hard to make sure they didn't start short-circuiting again, and quickly yanked the fake element of magic off Twilight, crushing it in bits with his left hand. He then looked at her and grabbed her by her shoulders, shaking her as he said, Quick, Twilight, cross the field! Force field, dispelling spell, I don't care, just get rid of whatever Discord did! Though he was staged from the effects of the crown, removing it so quickly, Twilight heard what he said, challenged her magic in a horn before she could lose focus, raining a spell. A bright magenta flash erupted from it a few moments later, scaring everyone's view of what was happening. When the flash faded, Sonic opened his eyes and looked at the girls. He wasn't sure what spell Twilight had used, but the other girls' necklaces were no longer to be seen, and seemed still any lingering traces of Discord's magic had been erased. As for the main six, including Twilight, they were all looking around in slight confusion, as if they were entirely sure what they had been doing. Likely those fake elements hadn't been exerting any mind control or brainwashing on them. Ksh! Nobody cares, Celestia! And stop talking. We can figure this one out on our own, Celestia. Rainbow groaned. How did you manage to take our elements away, anyway? We were wearing them this time. Twilight looked at her. I don't think the elements are safe from Discord on our own, Rainbow. Especially when they're not in that tower. Because of that, he was somehow able to use the connection between our elements to teleport them away from all of us. Ow! Oh, that was hard to pull out of my ass. Sonic held his left hand in his hand, looked at Chip's necklace as he commanded. Glad that guy's got a mind more like a steel trap than I give him credit for. He straightened up at the sound of Draconic voice. Ha! That's a mistake everybody makes. Sonic whirled around while the girls looked to see Discord and Time Eater emerging from the black portal up ahead, the six elements floating above Discord's eagle talon. With a snap of his fingers, the elements floated over to the Time Eater, now hovering above top of it. The elements of harmony! Twilight exclaimed. Eggman grinned. Excellent, Discord. Without these trinkets, Celestia's ace in the hole is useless now. Blake murmured. Ace in the hole? Twilight demanded. What are you going to do with the elements of harmony, Eggman? Eggman simply replied, Fret not, Twilight Sparkle. These silly things will help me achieve world conquests, but as long as your friends don't have them, you can't use them against me or Discord. Rainbow asked, What are you talking about? Eggman explained, The elements of harmony are closely connected to their bearers, i.e., U6. They need to be in your possession in order to be used. In order to use them, you'll all have to willingly come together and activate them. Even if I were to put U6 into robots and make you obey my every command, you'll still need to use them themselves. I wouldn't be able to force you to. Therefore, they're useless to me as a weapon. Rarity questioned, Then what do you plan to do with them? Surely you're not going to get into that ruffian Discord. Eggman replied, Discord gave them to me as a gift. Giving them back to him would just be rude. And I would be saying that I don't like his gift. I'm sure I'll find a use for them. Perhaps I could use them as part of a wrestling costume. Sonic facepalmed and dragged his hand down at that, muttering something under his breath. Discord heard his mumbling and teleported in front of the chunk he and Domain 6 were standing on. He grinned, What's the matter, Sonic? Can't you see the possibilities of that idea? He held his arms in a philosophical pose. With the elements of harmony adoring his costume, Dr. Eggman will become the newest superstar in the wrestling world. But the world won't know as their glorious leader. They'll only know him as El Gran Gordo! Sonic put on a deadpan expression. He could just see that. Pinkie Pie, meanwhile, grinned. Oh boy, that's so exciting. When's El Gran Gordo's next match? We totally gotta see him. It'll be so loud, and exciting, and flashy, and... She was cut off when Sonic greased out his left arm, clenched his hand over her mouth, reducing her babbling to mumbling. Raindance glared up at Discord. That is so not happening, Discord. Both you and Eggman are going down right now! Before Conquest could blink, his fingers shot up and delivered a potent punch to his face, knocking him backwards to the stalagmite. As he was about to fly after an attack again, but her wings suddenly wilted as he began to drop down. Well, what the? She grunted as he descended. Unfortunately, she came close enough to the ledge, Sonic was able to catch her and set her down. What's wrong, Dash? He asked. I don't know. I punched Discord in the face and now I feel really tired for some reason. She asked. Alizak floated a couple inches off the ground and grinned. Come on, Deus. You wanted to pop that spear yourself. Don't tell me I gotta do it for you. Rainbow shook her head and spread her wings. She tried to take off, but couldn't flap them fast enough off the ground. Alizak raised an eyebrow in concern. Airplane looked over at Twilight when the Steel Alicorn asked, Hey, why are my wings starting to fade? Looking at her starred wings in her back, Alizak saw that they did seem to slowly wrinkling in and out of existence. Airplane sat down on the ground seconds afterwards, suddenly unable to hold herself anymore. Ooh, I'm starting to feel it too, she said. Discord grinned down from the stalagmite and watched him as he laughed. Ha! Sounds like you girls are thirsty. Maybe you need to refill your tanks. Twilight looked down and asked, What are you talking about? Discord simply smirked. Oh, so now you want to know about my chaos, do you, Twilight? Well, too bad. If you need your precious elements of harmony so bad to balance out the chaos Sonic has given you, then I'm not helping you. He then snapped his lion paw fingers and fans from their sight. Rainbow asked, What the heck is he talking about? Oh, martial art fruit user, before you throw me out the window too, can I explain? 'Cause you're never going to believe this. What is it, Tails? Okay, but get ready, 'cause I'm about to pull this one out of the author's ass. Based on what Discord said, I think he was referring to how the power of the Chaos Emeralds is only temporary when they're all used together. You've been giving off their energy since you transformed, and Twilight, Fluttershy, Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and Pinkie Pie have been using a lot of it while they've been fighting, yet they all have been able to manage to use it as well as you can, Sonic. Alizak asked, What do you mean? Tails answered, Keeping chaos energy under control is not an easy thing to do. Sonic's first transformation was spontaneous, and he was able to remain Super Sonic just long enough to stop Eggman. The same thing happened with Shao the first time he transformed into Super Shao. He said he even had trouble maintaining his super form. Based on what I've been hearing what's happening, it sounds like that's happening to you girls now. The fact that it didn't come up earlier means the elements of harmony must have been helping you somehow. Sonic asks, so when Discord took the elements and replaced them with those knockoffs, they ended up using a lot of energy while they were being messed with because they couldn't control it? Tails replied, I think so. The elements of Harmony must have been acting like Xiao's inhibitors rings this entire time. Now Discord took them from their bears, it's harder for them to control the energy and they're tiring out because they're running out of chaos energy. Pop! Ow! Sorry, that was a little hard to pull out of my ass. I'm so sorry, Tails. That must have been painful. Really, Arthur? Really? Is that how you're going to explain the whole ring thing? Ah! I forgot you deceit wanted to ignore that, didn't ya? What's the matter? Couldn't come up with a plausible explanation to explain the other rings other than the warp ring? Couldn't think of a good reason to explain why Supersonic needed to do that? Couldn't figure out a good reason why to say, hey, Sonic, pick up those super rings. You've basically turned this into a giant video game as it is. Are you sure you didn't just want to throw in the rings anyway, just to make sure we knew that this was a video game? You only now have decided, might as well not talk about the video games. Is that your opinion? And oh my god, are we really doing this just to extend this for one more chapter? Sonic slid his radio back in his quills, looked at the girls and said, I think it's clear what you girls are trying to do. You're going to stay here while and try to conserve chaos energy you still have. Twilight asked, you mean you can't share some of yours with us? Sonic replied, I could, but I've been hanging back all this time. I'm still using it. I don't know how much more I could share and still maintain my super form. Especially if any of you change back. Elzek asked, so what are you going to do, Sugar Hog? Sonic replied, you girls are going to need your elements to stop Discord anyway. You know, back, you should be able to control your chaos energy better like Tails said. He turned his thumb back over his shoulder at the tiny direction. So I'll go pay the dog confess it, get them back for you. He then turned around and ran past Rainbow Dash, jumping over the edge of the street chunk. He then started to fly away as he called back, the Sentai, be back soon! Rainbow called out, hey, wait! Masai kept going, his face hardened with determination. He was going to help his friends and had no intention of stopping until he did. Rainbow turned to look at Blake as he just sat and began to read a book. Randy checked her mane and kept frantically asking, oh, no, not doing that. Pinkie Pie, you take the next line. Ooh, I feel sleepy. Seaver laid down her belly, tucking her hose under her. Twice decided she lowered herself to the ground as well and cast a small spell to make sure the street chunk you were didn't flip over and knock them off. Sorry, Rainbow. Don't think there's much we could do right now. Sun's come through us before. I hate to say it, but all we can do now is wait for him to return. Hey, I got an idea. While we're waiting for the plot to get back to us, I brought my Game Master's book. Did you all bring your character sheets? Alright, oh no! Sonic came to a stop some distance away from the time he called, hey Eggman, Discord! Keep you waiting? Eggman called back, it has been a while, hasn't it, Sonic? Feels like it's been ages since the last time we got together. Sonic smiled. Gotta admit, I did miss the kissy your wide behind while you're gone. It's a good punching bag substitute. Eggman smirked. How refreshing to know you didn't lose your obnoxious streak while I was away. Sonic called, nothing's changed, Eggman. Let's get back to necklaces and crown, and I'll tussle you with your monster for old time's sake. Eggman replied, After your little display of letting those girls go first, I'm worried about you, Sonic. If you want to earn an audience with me, you have to prove you haven't gone soft. Meanwhile, Orbot whispered to Cubot, and said that couldn't happen. Sonic is the one who procrastinates when it comes to exercising, after all. Eggman glared down at the Eggmobile's console. What was that? Discord just chuckled to himself as he floated forward. Floating for the time year started to float backwards. Sonic stared at Discord. The Chronic was smirkily back at him. Just said, look, Discord, I'm only going to say this once. I don't want to fight you! Really? Let's just read the dialogue. It's actually something Legendbreaker was hoping it would be said. Yeah. Problem is, I think this is done badly. Look at do, Spineball. Your pony pals may have surprised me with sort of chaos they can unleash now, but that's it. It'll take more than that to scare me off. Sonic growled. Why would you side for Eggman for something like this? Why can't you try being good for a change? You wouldn't be able to cause as much chaos, but you'll be giving ponies less of a reason to turn you to stone. Discord chuckled. Oh, it seems like we really don't have much in common, Sonic. Why would I give up some of my chaos when I can have it all with a few changes? Sonic shrugged. I don't know. Maybe you can make some friends that way. Or at least some people who would put it up with you if you could control yourself. Discord laughed. Not likely. Like anybody would ever want to call me their friend. It's never going to happen. The only good thing about friendship that I can see is that it's allowed me to get Celestia's beloved elements out of the way. And I have no intention of letting you get them back. Twilight grunted. Sonic grunted. So that's how it's going to be, huh? Okay, Discord, he rated himself. Hope you're paying attention, dude. I'm going to show you some real chaos. Discord grinned. I think you're above the spirit of chaos, do you? Let's see how you like wearing your short hair after I trim your spines. Sonic started towards Discord like that, ready to fight. As he watched Discord trying to turn his magic on Sonic. Luna, no. Right. I get it. It's a reference to keep calm and flare on. Ah ha ha, you are so clever. Back at the bowels, Discord had summoned a pair of cotton candy. Oh, come on! What? What? Is that all you're having me do? I am the spirit of chaos, good sir. And you're just having me do the same trick again and again and again and again? I have more creativity than this. You could do more. Let me just read the next line. Aside from annoying, your magic's doing diddly, dude. Have you figured out we're practically invincible by now? Discord growled. I was toying with those ponies earlier. Do you think I was actually trying to hurt them? Sonic grunted. Based on what you were doing earlier? Yeah. Anyone that didn't have the right protection would have been hurt. Discord grinned. Chaos is always good protection. Sonic replied, so I guess for you it's all fun and games, even when someone gets hurt? Discord held both his hands in front of them. Well, you might get hurt after this! He clapped his paw and talon together several times, different sound beating every time. Sonic raised an eyebrow. What did he do? A second later, he heard Pinky call from over the radio. What's he do? Remember what that means. Sonic looked up, eyes wide as he saw something flying straight towards him. Quickly shot forward, managing to get out from under a time. Under his shoulder, he raised an eyebrow. Ice cream? Yasik nearly fell into a large scoop of chocolate ice cream. The scoop falling until it vanished somewhere further down. Sonic didn't see it disappear as he faced forward and mentally shook his head. I don't even want to know what was in that. He found himself waving around as he flew. Discord was dropping more ice cream scoops on him, all different flavors. Dodging around the last falling ice cream scoop, Rocky Road from the looks of it, Sonic sat towards Discord saying, Sorry, don't have time to try all 31 flavors, Discord, but Eggman still got the elements of harmony, and it's time he gave them up. Discord, seeing there was no more room to drop any surprises on a hedgehog as close as he was, braced himself and smirked. Oh yeah, well, you're gonna have to go through me first. Sonic smiled. Whatever you say, dude. He kept flying straight towards Discord's long torso. Seeing this, Discord grinned. Do you actually think you could bowl me over like one of Eggman's machines? You won't get past me so easily. It'll take more than... Before he could finish, Sonic reached along by. As he came in contact with Discord's fur, there was a beef yellow glow. And when it cleared, Sonic was behind Discord, still heading for the time of year. Hey, that tickles! Discord giggled. Sonic grinned back at him over his shoulder as he flew. Dude, even your insides are messed up. He didn't face forward. The time of year wasn't far ahead. As he saw Sonic approaching, Eggman said, Impressive, Sonic. I was like, you still have it after all. He then grinned, typed a command on the Eggmobile's cancel, but it'll take more than that to defeat us. As he spoke, the time of year brought his left hand forward, charging up an attack before swinging it out and releasing the attack. No, Mayor. And no big. Ksh, ksh. Sonic came to a stop in midair, watching the chaos as the shots came closer for a moment before curling up into a ball and shooting towards him. He hit the side of the first one and hit it, knocking out the course and bounding the next one. He continued the process until he was right in front of the time eater, looking at its core. Sonic glanced to the side and saw one of its hands throwing towards him. He quickly shot up, avoiding both hands as they came together, stopping when he was in front of the time eater's face. He knew what he needed to do, curled into a ball, swinging straight into the face his growling face. He managed to bounce up after striking his face and performed another homing attack, striking Orbot and Cubot's cockpit, getting up to Eggman's level. After another homing attack, Sonic bounced back a short distance while the time eater was pushed backwards. Uncurlingly looking forward, Sonic noticed two glints above him by the time eater. Closer look revealed them to be the elements of honesty and laughter. He was about to go retrieve them before they were lost when he noticed Chip's necklace glowing, just like before. He held his left arm and focused on the elements. Fortunately, it didn't form around the elements. Instead, he clicked it with a green light shot towards Sonic, caught him in his left hand. No cream, ksh, no silver, ksh. Sonic grinned as he looked at the elements in his hand. Alright, that's two, so now, whoa! The last part was an exclamation as Discord suddenly appeared right in front of him and swung around, smacking Sonic with his tail. It surprised Sonic and knocked him backwards, but he held onto the elements of harmony tightly. Before he could recover from the hit, Discord grabbed him in his hands and held him up to his face as he flew away from the time eater. Sonic looked up at him. Oh, hey there! Discord glared down at him. Clever trick you pulled back there. Unfortunately, since you won't behave, I'm going to have to cut you off right now. Sonic raised his right hand in front of his nose and yeah, yeesh! What's the last thing you ate? You could use a mint. Discord gave him a sneaky smirk. You like a little freshness, huh? That could be arranged. He took his eagle talon off Sonic's shoulder, wrapped it around his left hand, around the element of Harmony's grip. Hey, what are you? Sonic exclaimed before stopping abruptly at the sight of some of the black mist emanating from Discord's eagle talon. As he watched, began to spread out, surrounding him before he can thin out around him. Discord gave Sonic an unerring smile. You might have been able to resist me before, but I am the master of the unexpected. Chaos is my nature, and no matter what you say about the energy within you, it's still chaos. I have a feeling you'll warm up to my point of view sometime very soon. Sonic gritted his teeth at that, glaring at Discord a moment before he noticed a translucent, orange-red aura surrounding him. He turned his head to the side and looked at it. Discord's eyes sparkled at that. Oh, you see, it's starting. Sonic continued to stare at the aura, not hearing the calls coming through the radio due to being in deep thought. I've seen this somewhere before. Where? He wondered. As he and Discord watched, a transparent hedgehog body began to form around him. Discord stopping in midair when he saw this. When the body finished forming, Discord grinned as his magic was nearing completion. Something suddenly shot out from Sonic's body, struck Discord in the face. The Crocodile was so surprised by the sudden impact, he let go of Sonic as he reeled from the hit. The hedgehog being dragged down with whatever had attacked Discord and rebounded off of him. Tilting his head to look at Sonic saw that Twilight was carefully using her magic to push the tree trunk that her and her friends were on towards him. Quickly moved to the sides as he got closer, flipped over, landing on his feet, skidding back past him. Threw down on one knee. Before any point he could ask what happened, he crashed down in front of him, cracking the ground a bit before landing. Sonic quickly stood up and turned around to look. It was a transparent hedgehog body that had been forming around Sonic earlier. Only now it saw it, and it appeared to be the shape of Discord's Mephiles illusion. Everyone watched as it stood up, its whole body shaking like it tried to raise its head. As he watched it begin to change, its shoes vanished, revealing indigo blue feet with a white stripe. The rings around its legs began to go bright yellow. The fur around its legs turned to indigo blue. As it changed before their eyes, it muttered in a dark, almost light, ghost-like voice, rage, hatred, sadness. As it finished changing to aura from earlier surrounded it, the hedgehog raised its head, revealing his white, empty eyes as it moaned, Sorry.